Y'all already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
At a time, gangs in New York were mostly found in low-income, high-crime areas, city jails like Rikers Island and state prisons. But now gang membership in New York City is at an all-time high. That's according to multiple law enforcement officials. And the age of the gang members is barely in the double digits. This chart from Vanguard Crime Strategies, LLC, shows the overall structure of gang life in New York City. It looks organized, but it's complex and even chaotic, with shifting alliances and even coalitions between former rivals called ops. In New York City, there are four main nationally affiliated gangs: the Bloods, the Crips, Folk Nation, and the Trinitarios. Under them, there are hundreds of smaller groups called sets or crews. There's no exact census on actual numbers, but law enforcement officials estimate it's in the tens of thousands.
They're putting everything online, or whether they're rapping about their ops, or whether they're kicking over candles, or whether they're actually doing drills. They're doing everything online, and they're documenting and creating their own digital footprint.
We had exclusive access to NYPD Gun Violence Suppression Division takedowns in Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx, where police and prosecutors put alleged trigger pullers in handcuffs. Police say both shooters and their victims are getting younger, and 96% are minorities.
You have to realize that about 65% of our shootings in New York City historically have a gang nexus.
Gang members' digital boasting and posting of crimes and threats leaves a digital fingerprint and a fast track to a conviction, says prominent criminal defense attorney Arthur Aidala, who represents Chef G.
The pictures of you with the guns that you put on your Instagram page, well, we got that. The picture of you doing some kind of rant about something, that's going to come in. Or if at the very least, it's going to be used against you.
Hip-hop community activist Hassan Hocus 4/5 Harris, a former gang member, ignited the internet when he started the Drop My Flag Challenge to encourage young gang members to leave gangs before it's too late. The former member of the notorious Bronx blood set called Sex Money Murder was acquitted in 2012 of conspiracy charges that could have kept him behind bars for life.
Some of them might even look up to me and who I was, not understanding that I come up in the area, wasn't no cameras. Right. Nowadays, you go spin the block, they are rewinding back to when you left your house.
We dive deep into this important issue on the next episode of Street Soldiers. Join us at our new time, Friday at 4:30, right here on Fox 5 and the Fox Local.
Now, ever since Hocus 4/5 did the Drop Your Flag Challenge to encourage gang members to drop their flag, there's been a lot of things going on. Hocus 4/5 actually made it to Fox 5 News. Shout out to Lisa Evers. You have gang members running around disgruntled, having fits, because it's encouraging people to see gangs for what they are. They're destroying us as a community. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. But we got Jim Jones and Fat Joe, and Fat Joe asks Jim Jones the $1 million question.
Fifth, doing put the flag down. What's your opinion on that?
To each his own, you heard? But I think it's a way to do everything. I think that the positive message that he's trying to push, he didn't have to drop his flag to do so. You heard? Like, we in a war right now, you heard? And us being in a position and for the things that people see us for, is either going to work two ways for us. Negative or positive is how you paint the picture. I've been turning this picture into a positive situation for a long time. I ain't the perfect person. I know what I chose to get into. I know the brotherhood that I'm a part of, and I know why I'm here. The reasons I started with are not the reasons that I'm ending with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a real solid place where I can help a lot of these kids that grew up misplaced and just in the hood with nothing to look forward to another. Like, I can help that. I can help offset that. And even if I can help one person, then I know I did my job. And maybe that one person can help somebody else. But people put themselves in certain situations, and I don't know certain situations, so I just don't want to talk bad about nobody that's probably trying to get himself out of whatever he's into. But I do know for a fact that this is a little bit deeper than dropping the flag for me. You heard? Like, I started something that has destroyed a lot of lives, that had put a lot of people in danger. Like, I know that wholeheartedly. I take accountability for everything that I do. You heard? But in the flip side is that I'm still here and I'm still moving with my brotherhood, and I'm showing them a positive thing. What I've done has not been done where I'm from. You heard? So when they look at me and they see me being a businessman, an executive, an artist, a successful person, a good father, I'm changing the narrative for all people that's affiliated with gang and had to come up through gang culture because they never had the brotherhood that they needed to. We don't have that support system coming up outside. It's lonely outside.
Taking advantage of
100%. 100%. There's nothing pretty about this lifestyle. I'm not trying to paint a pretty picture. You heard it's a disgusting
I
lifestyle.
had to tell you about the time they tried to force me to get in the gang.
That's a whole nother video. Them forcing Fat Joe to get into a gang. Now, I have a slogan where I always say, my job here on this internet, I always told y'all, if I could save one life and my job is done. For the first time in my life, I'm actually proud of Jim Jones. Now, I differ with him a little bit when he say he wouldn't have did what Hocus 4/5 did, because I understand Hocus 4/5, his situation, his circumstances, right? Give you an example. Melly, the big homie, Jim Jones' big homie, he dropped his flag in jail. He was supposed to do 11 years. He ended up doing 6 years. My question to the people out here watching, if you could take 6 years off of your sentence to make it home to that beautiful young boy that I seen Melly holding, would you? That's first. Second, we living in a day and a time where after John Gotti, right? John Gotti was the Dapper Don. They said gangsters move in silence, but John Gotti didn't move in silence. He wanted everybody to know that he was the Dapper Don. He beat the feds like 3 times. It wasn't going to be a 4th. So after the mafia went down and was taken down, you think the mob don't exist? And this is what I've been telling y'all for years on social media. Do you think that the mob doesn't exist? The mob is still here. They just disappeared. The mob is still here. They just disappeared. Now, we living in a day and a time where you got ICE agents, military, and police running around with poo shiesties on. Because they realized in the age of technology that if you got a picture of them, you could trace them back to their address. So if the military is moving militant and the mob is moving militant, why do you gang members move so stupidly by actually letting everybody know that you're in a gang? They're not supposed to know that. Now with Hocus 4/5. Hocus 4/5. Just because he dropped his flag doesn't mean that he's not gangbanging. It doesn't mean that he really gave up his status as a gang member. And I'm not saying that this is true. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, there's a good possibility that he's doing what he's supposed to do, because gangsters are supposed to move in silence. He has a federal case on his back. Is he really supposed to be running around at 44 years old, throwing up gang signs, blah, 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 running around the projects with Adam 22 looking stupid? All of them niggas out there rocking red and blue in New York City look stupid. It is what it is. But Jim Jones, back to you. I totally gained so much respect for Jim Jones to sit up there and admit that he know that he introduced the lifestyle. Because yes, the Bloods was formed on Rikers Island, OG Mack and all the rest of the brothers that fought in the first generation, that first wave that I came from. But Jim Jones was the billboard for a lot of little niggas getting life sentences. And he just owned up to it. He owned up to it. Jim Jones just owned up to it as a grown man and said in front of the world that he is going to do better. And that's all I ever wanted. So shout out to Jim Jones for manning up and doing what grown men are supposed to do. I salute you for that. I'm not here. Listen, let me tell you something. Just because I give my brothers in the struggle constructive criticism, it doesn't mean I don't love my brothers. When your mother spanked you when you did something wrong as a child, it wasn't that she didn't love you. She had to give you that rod of correction to make you understand that there's consequences to what you do. And the children that didn't get spankings, that was allowed to do anything and everything that they wanted to do in life, most of them got life in jail. Yeah. They ain't never coming home. It is what it is. That's my take on the situation. Shout out to all the men out there that joined Hocus for a Fifth in this Drop Your Flag challenge. And trying to encourage these young boys to understand that there's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. And right now, technology is hunting you down. The military is hunting you down. The district attorney is hunting you down. The FBI is hunting you down. The CIA, and you have too many agencies for me to go through. And every last one of them got their eyes on you. Don't be the reason why the police kicking your mother door 5 o'clock in the morning and drag you out of the bed. Y'all young boys got to understand, most of y'all still living with your mother. When they kick through that door, they're not going to treat your mother nicely. And they're not going to respect your little brothers and sisters. Live life as if you are on the run. Stay dangerous at the same time. Y'all hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Because they smile in your face. All the while they want to take your place. The backstabbers. I'm out.